Hello there. Welcome to another talk. And today's talk is called Your Growth Terrifies the Decepticons. And that's exactly what it does. And the next question is, why does your growth terrify the Decepticons? Well, because it brings out all their unconscious issues. You know, that's exactly what it does. It's like every person carries like a bucket. Imagine a rubbish tip. Excuse me. A rubbish tip, and it's packed up with unconscious issues. And if you are spiritually awakening right now, you're healing yourself. You're healing that baggage. You're healing that rubbish. If an individual has not begun yet to do that, then you are going to trigger them. If an individual hasn't went within themselves yet, hasn't had that awakening yet, hasn't made that conscious decision to go within. Like at the age of 24, I had this awakening. 34 now, 10 years, and my head blew off at the age of 24. But from that, if you are going within and you're around Decepticons, you will intimidate them. And the reason you're intimidating them is because they know that they can't keep up. You see? Because in their minds, it's a competition. That's the way they think. They don't. If they were to be heart based and to go within the heart, but they don't have the courage to follow their hearts. If they did follow their hearts, they would see that all is actually one. Right? That went because that's basically how we connect is through the hearts. Because the hearts are telepathic. That's what true telepathy is. It's actually intuition between intuition. And if people would just do that, they would awaken. But the reason they don't is because it's fear. It's fear within the psyche, which manifests itself in these Decepticons. A Decepticon is a person who's got a lot of trauma, a lot of baggage, and they deflect all the time. They never go within. And if you are growing, it could be a romantic partner, it could be your family, whatever, or friends, so-called friends, you will intimidate them if you are spiritually awakening and healing yourself. Because they, like I say, they compare everything. That's what people are like when they are lower dimensional. Before my unexpected spiritual awakening, I was like this also. So I understand the way you think when you are lower vibrational. Everything's like a competition. Once you awaken, you realize that you're just as much a bird and the trees and everything else than you are this experience. And this is called the law of one. That's the law that they go by in heaven. Heaven is where your loved ones from all different lives are, and it's actually a place, and people that have had near-death experiences have spoke about this. So anyone that tells you that, about spirits wanting to come back, no, that's not true. If you watch a lot, I've watched quite a few mediums on like the internet, well-known ones, like James Van Praagh. And but this relates to what I'm talking about because the energy of that place is the heart energy. And people that are lower vibrational are intimidated by that energy because they're in the energy of fear, insecurity, self-doubt, the illusion of self and separation. You see? And that's the reason why it terrifies them, because they're in the state of lack, they're in the state of fear, and therefore they don't manifest and they don't attract anything. You're unattractive when you're in that kind of state. You see? And so so the reason these people are terrified of you is, like I say, it's because of this lack state that they're in. They don't feel that they're good enough. And if you're awakening and ascending and stuff like that, it intimidates them because they're like, God, I'm not able to keep up with this person. And because they're in competition mode and fearful mode and all that low vibrational things, they're going to be more hostile towards you. You see? And so if you're a individual going through this, with these decepticons, that is why. Because your growth is intimidating them. You're growing too fast for their liking. Right? That's what's happened. You're growing too fast. When you're meditating all the time, you're going within all the time, you're consistent all the time. People that aren't doing that are going to be intimidated by you. You see? But the best thing to do is when these people are doing whatever to you, instead of paying attention to what they're doing, because they're low dimensional beings, focus on how are you getting gaslighted. Use this situation as an opportunity for you to go deeper within. Because if you're reacting to them, they might be idiots, yes, but what is going on within you? If it's negative or getting triggered, then that's a reminder to you that you need to do some more work. You see? So these idiots, they are idiots, yeah, but they have a place. They are a reminder to you to go within yourself. It's all about just trusting your heart, and trusting that God has your back. And that's the difference between an enlightened being and a non-enlightened being. And an enlightened being is actually an old soul. That's those that are spiritually awakening now. They're just returning to what they were before they came here. And an enlightened being, in their spirit, they were very evolved, but they had to, an energetic frequency had to be created for them to come into this reality. And that vibrational frequency allowed them to come here, but originally they weren't like that. So spirit creates these energetic, like cords, but then as you're ascending, you're cutting the cords, and then you're terrifying these Decepticons more and more. You see? So what's actually happened is these energetic cords are being cut. So, so that's the way that it is. As you ascend more and more, you are going to intimidate them. And as I say, these energetic cords sometimes have to be created for an enlightened being to get into the planet, because it goes by frequency. And these cords are energetic. And so it's not that you were like these people. That's why you felt different. It's that these cords had to be created. And what's happened now is you're awakening. The cords are being cut, and you're returning to what you truly are. You see, and it's intimidating them because they know that that's what they should be doing. But like I say, most people deflect away from their own issues. And that's the difference between the enlightened ones, the ones that are awakening now, and the ones that aren't. The ones that aren't don't have the courage to follow their hearts. But if you want to contact, God, you want to contact loved ones, that place that they're in is the heart energy. That's what the heart energy is. Heaven, it's God, it's source, it's the force where all life comes from. The miracle where all life comes from. So as you become this light, this source, more and more and more and more, it will intimidate those people, but it will also make them go within. They've got to. Because if they don't go within, then they're going to have a horrible reality. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse until you go within. It's a bit like, imagine an animal that is starving hungry. Eventually it will eat. So these people, they're foolish, but they can't be like that forever. You see? And that's why the awakening will prevail. You see? Because it's part of our evolution. So the awakening cannot fail because of that, because of the fact that it's part of our evolution. So keep going within yourself, keep growing. Yes, it terrifies them, but it's all about how you feel about that. It's not about them, really. It's about how do you feel about the situation. If it bothers you, that is, you need to go within then. If it's bothering you. You see, if anything bothers you, that's when you need to go within the heart chakra. And just hold that space and and just feel yourself open in your heart more and more. And feel yourself really trusting in the heart and in the divine, which is the heart. Because ultimately what the divine really wants, what source, what God, what your loved ones on the other side want, they want you to have real faith that they have your back. So don't worry about these decepticons. Because if you've got real trust like that, there's no problems. There's only problems when you think that there's something wrong. And you think the Decepticon, there's some mistake going on. That's what our ego tells us, you see. You see, so it's all about, the more you trust in the divine, the more the miracles will happen, the more present you'll become. And the more divine light you're irradiating. So the power is within the heart. And yes, your growth does terrify the Decepticons. But it doesn't matter. What matters is that you're going within your heart. You're trusting that more and more. And this is making you more present. More in the present moment. And the heart energy, is tantric energy. Tantric energy, energy orgasms, Kundalini, it's all the same source, which is the heart, which is love. And that's really what the source of everything is. Like David Icke says, infinite love is the only truth, everything else is illusion. And I'm just going to leave it there. For latest updates, talks, news, research and much, much more, please do check my website at www.lovelightfamily.com.